Apart from you at home, I will be harvesting solutions from the following people, and I'd like to introduce them as follows. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Shiremo, who is a historian and also a lecturer with the University of Namibia. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Good evening. Thank you.
Secondly, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Andreas Watz, who is a legal practitioner. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Thank you.
And then also Dr. Shriange, who is the Special Advisor to the Minister of Home Affairs. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Thank you.
A little later in the show, we'll bring you a discussion that we've had with Namibians over the Genocide Memorial Statue vis-à-vis the writer Denk Mal, as well as the usual word on the streets about their feelings on what we are talking about today, which is the Battle of the Statues. But for now, let's get ahead with this discussion. I'd like to come to you, Mr. Shiremo, and ask you the first question. For the benefit of our viewers, can you explain when a statue's movement is legal or illegal?
Thank you. I think that can only be explained in terms of the Act that provides for activities such as those ones. And in our case, we have an Act of Parliament called the National Heritage Act, number 27 of 2004. It clearly stipulates that no one should move these objects without first getting permission from the council or from the minister. But in the same provision of the Act, it also exempts the council and the minister from that provision of saying no one should move these objects. So if I zero it down to the discussion that we will be talking about today, it appears as if, on face value, that the action of the government to move the writer Denk Mal was illegal. But if you read the Act critically and deeply, you will see that the government did not actually do anything illegal because the minister and the council are exempted from this provision that prohibits the movement or the despoiling or excavation or any activities around these objects.
Mr. Watz,
well, I
I'd like to hear your
disagree.
contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, to allow me to participate in this debate. As a lawyer, I, of course, also look at the matter mostly from a legal point of view. And I also must say at the introduction that when clients come to me about a problem where I think the law has been breached, then it's my duty as a lawyer to assist them. That is why I have been acting for the three parties who were involved in the proposed action against the government. I disagree. I cannot recall having seen anything, actually, in the Act that exempts the government from moving or damaging monuments. The legal way in which this matter should be dealt with.
Why do you choose the word damaging a statue?
The rider was removed and the foundation was damaged, was pulled down, destroyed really. So that falls into this prohibition of the Act which my neighbor mentioned, the National Heritage Act of 27 of 1904. And that Act is there to protect all monuments and historic sites. And the only way I know that you can do something about these historic sites is you must first deproclaim them. And that is actually what the government did. It did 3 days before the rider was removed at midnight on the 25th of December. It did publish a deproclamation notice. In other words, and the law requires the council to give 60 days, and after the 60 days they can then decide whether to deproclaim the rider or not. And these 60 days had just started. Yes. And that is where the problem comes in.
I'd like to bring Dr. Shriange in from your perspective, sir. Do you consider this statues?
Yeah.
What constitutes for it to be illegal or a legal move?
First, let us say all the property of the former government, colonial government that is, have become property of the present government, including those statues. They are properties of the government. Immediately when this government took over, all those properties belonged to the government. And the government has got the right to determine as to which property to use in which way. So, and first, this government that you are seeing, in which I have taken part to put in place, the main objective of this government is to liberate the people of this country from everything. Is not only to host the flag, but also from annoying things that are like this monument, which is praising the people who have killed us in this country. So we reserve the right to correct the wrongs of the past. If the property is annoying the masses of these people, we have to know how to deal with it.